that needs our attention, or unimportant that needs our attention?
Trump is out here pardoning folks.
He pardoning.
Okay, let's get to it. Now, my first time hearing of some of the theories that's going on out there was Mark Lamont on our last pod, where he was like, "Yo, there's rumblings of Trump wanting to let out Derek Chauvin." I've never heard that until you said that.
Yeah. They've been talking about that for about 4 or 5 months.
I mean, if I'm
they're rallying and everything.
If I'm just looking at the optics, I mean, it looks that way.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so we going to pacify the black people by letting out a couple people that they might be championing for. You understand what I'm saying? So supposedly he pardoned NBA Youngboy, and he also pardoned
Larry Hoover.
He commuted his sentence.
Commuted his federal sentence.
Yeah, because he still got the state case.
Time. So he got, I think, 150 years state.
Shut up, man.
It's true.
200 years.
You don't know what Larry Hoover got.
So
I do.
So I think that's just a pacification, because I'm about to get into my wild bag, and I don't want nobody to say it's racism. So let me throw a couple tidbits to black people so they can shut the fuck up when I start wilding.
I looked at it the other way. Like, I don't think it is racism. I think I'm literally just trying to get all y'all. I'm gonna do something you like, because again, if he pardoned Chauvin, he still got a state case as well.
Yeah.
So you're not coming home tomorrow either. It's just like I'm gonna pacify this base. I'm gonna pacify that base. Okay, y'all like NBA Youngboy, I'm gonna pacify y'all with him.
And with Hoover, it's not necessarily about pacifying black folks. It's a dig at the current governor of Illinois, who has made claims that he wants to run for president, and this was Trump's way of with him. Because he can commute his federal case, but he can't do anything about the state. So now it's up to him, and everybody feels like Larry Hoover should be let out.
Everybody
don't feel like that.
Actually, there's a big conversation going on right now that they keep having when the likes of a Meech or whoever come out.
Yeah.
Of the younger people like, hey, why are we celebrating these people being released?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm saying he has a massive amount of supporters. That's what I'm saying.
I do think that that's corny. I want to make my position clear. That's corny. The young kids doing that. They did with Meech and they're doing with Larry Hoover. When they announced Larry Hoover has been incarcerated since 1972, and I just sat and thought about how old I am in my life and how old he got to be. You've been in jail
before
all of us was born. Because I ain't seeing the 65 and 70-year-old people commenting on this. It's all a bunch of people that just got here, just got shot out of penis when he was arrested already.
Most of them people are dead.
He and his wife are still together. They've been married 50 years.
Like, what are we talking about? I'm 49. I was born in 76. So if he got locked up in 73, he'd been locked up for 52 years.
22 years old.
And he was already grown when he went to jail. So you 74 years old. Who the fuck is going to be commenting on that?
I just believe in redemption.
Me too.
I believe no matter who you were at 22, that you can change. I know some people are against that. I believe that humans can change.
I believe that as well.
Well, that's just this new generation that believes.
Like, when do you play your debt to society
whatsoever? They don't want, the internet generation don't want any
you
type
could
of
tell
growth.
when you listening to who didn't get spankings. Like, you could tell that was raised after spankings was dead. These, not only do they have opinions, they voice them. Why are we celebrating Larry Hoover? Shut up.
He also pardoned the Chrisleys.
See? And that be some
reality show. Which is wild, but whatever.
Why is that wild?
What is it? I don't know what it is.
Why is that wild?
You know, Chrisley knows best.
Todd Chrisley.
Todd Chrisley and his wife. I can't remember what her name is. Yeah. I mean, just, you know, they were charged with like multiple counts of fraud and all kinds of.
Yes.
Yeah.
My whole thing be, how do we pick? You know what I'm saying? Like, just random folks. But the daughter,
Savannah,
was doing some shit with Trump and was supporting him.
Yeah, it's $1 million a plate dinner. So yeah, he showed you how he get down.
Yeah, he don't play. Yo, wash my back, I'm gonna wash your back, and that's how we moving. And
I just feel like at one point, you know, when the president started their commutations or pardons and stuff like that, it was people who, you know, had been incarcerated and
unjustly,
or it was like, or it was like, you know, just like a really, like, you know, an abnormally long sentence, or political prisoners like that. And now it's like we're pardoning NBA Youngboy. I mean, congratulations. But Todd Chrisley and his wife, like, it's just fucking weird. Like the selection of people to be pardoned and stuff like
what's
that.
What's starting to be more and more evident, in my opinion, is money talks. That's it.
Well, yeah.
And they used to hide that money talks back in the day. So you could give a donation to under the table, nobody would know, especially with the internet generation. Now, if you donate $1 million a plate, everybody knows.
Right.
If you go get a jet overseas, the whole internet knows. I think back in the day, it was more hidden that these favors were going on.
I don't want to attack what you're saying, because I agree. Money talks. The scary part is that celebrity seems to talk just as loud.
Yeah, because you know what happened?
That's the scary part.
With celebrity,
like, we traded Brittany Griner for the Merchant of Death.
Yes.
And thought it was fair value. Who was the GM?
Based on.
And I do think that she should have came. I
agree with that as well. But it's a thing that.
But how we value that over here versus how what other people may value is just
the internet speaks. But when you are catering to Wayne, when you are catering to NBA Youngboy, when you catering to some of these celebrities, money comes from that indirectly.
Exactly.
Money comes from that.
Popularity comes from that.
Like that is
Really
different, bro.
Back to your celebrity.
Again, he was running and had Chef G and them out there with him. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, he's moving around with Donald Trump is a celebrity. He's playing celebrity relationship games. No other president really moved this way because they weren't celebrities first.
Not just that, no other president.
And he know, like you were saying, you were saying before, Trump understands the relationship aspect of everything.
Bro. He understands people. I think to when we was talking about him during the election time, the campaign that he ran, it was just masterful that whoever on his team understood, yo, this demo, we need to go get Trick. Donald Trump might not have known who Trick was,
exactly.
Bro. Somebody on my team knew that
boxes.
This man is influential out here in this demographic of people. So
Larry Hoover is a well-known figure in American history, especially in relation to urban communities and social movements. He was born on November 30th, 1950, in Jackson, Mississippi, and later moved to Chicago, Illinois. Over time, he became a highly influential person in his community, particularly among young people. Hoover was one of the founding members of a group known as the Gangster Disciples, which originally started as a street organization in Chicago. While the group had controversial beginnings, Hoover later expressed interest in guiding it toward more positive goals. He spoke about education, community development, and improving the lives of those living in disadvantaged neighborhoods. In the 1990s, from behind bars, Hoover began to promote messages that encouraged peace, unity, and progress in his community. He talked about building businesses, mentoring youth, and giving people better choices in life. His efforts gained attention from many people, including community leaders and artists, some of whom advocated for a second look at his situation and legacy. Today, Larry Hoover remains a complex and often debated figure. Some people view him as a symbol of leadership and transformation, while others believe more reflection is needed on his past and the impact of his actions. Regardless of perspective, his story is closely tied to broader conversations about community change, justice, and the role of leadership in difficult environments. His life continues to inspire discussions about how individuals can grow, influence others, and be part of building stronger, more positive futures for the next generation.